Hello, everyone. This is Vinay Raman, and I am very excited to welcome you to a brand new episode of our LinkedIn Live series. It's called 10x, 10x Your Business. And for coaches and consultants, I believe there's a lot here that will help you. Pulling up my notes as I'm talking to you. Uh, 10x Your Coaching and Consultant Business Growth. Let me introduce you to what this series is all about and what it's going to do for you. In 10x, your coaching and consultant business growth series, each episode we're going to focus in on coaches and consultants specifically, and also service-based professionals, and give them actionable strategies to grow their business rapidly using data-driven methods. Today's episode in particular is called Double Your Revenue Growth Rate in 90 Days. Today's episode is Double Your Revenue Growth Rate in 90 Days. First question I would love to ask, if you are listening in live or if you're in the replay, type in pound replay, go to the comments box and say, would you give me a thumbs up, thumbs down? Would you like to double your growth rate in 90 days? I'll be the first to admit I would. So I use a lot of strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today so that you can find out how to do that yourself for your coaching consulting business, or if you're a service-based professional. So please go into the comments and give me a thumbs up or thumb down, thumbs down. I want to double my coaching, double my revenue growth. All right. So the goal of today's episode, doubling that revenue growth in 90 days, is all about a process that you need to follow or could follow that'll help you do that. It is difficult for me. It has been difficult for me in doing that in the past. So this whole episode is about sharing tips, tricks, and insights into how you can do that for yourself and your business. Okay, this is an interactive episode. I don't want this to be me talking the whole time. I would love to answer questions. So the first thing I want you to do is go to the comment box and type in where you're connecting from. I love to see how far and wide the audience is that connects in. LinkedIn is such a fantastic platform in that regard. It connects me to people all over the place. I've made fantastic relationships. And if you're listening in, whether live or in the replay, type in pound replay if you're in the replay. Just tell me what city or country you're connecting from. I would love to see that. Go to the comments and do that for me now. Okay. So the idea of growing your business is actually a very, very simple thing. We have this ego as humans that we tend to make things very, very complicated. I want to show you today how you can use simple tips and tricks and processes, strategies using our proven process to help you get to that simple growth rate. Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Vinay Raman. I am the founder of Carmo. My background is in math, computer science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I will tell you, when I did all of those courses a long time ago, math, computer science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence were not very sexy topics. The joke I make was I was the best looking woman in the class because it was just a bunch of guys who actually liked computers a lot. It was not a very sexy or very. I remember when I used to go to networking events and tell people that I'm do artificial intelligence and machine learning. People used to just kind of look at me and go, oh, "This is going to be a boring conversation." Many years later, people actually want to understand what I do. So maybe I got a little lucky there. But in that machine learning, artificial intelligence, computer science, and math, I've also learned a lot by running or being part of a senior leadership teams for 6 companies. Uh, 2 of those successfully exited and were sold. I've either been a coach or consult in those last 25 years in running those companies as senior executives and in mid and junior levels. But over the course of 25 years of learning how to be a coach or consultant, I've had a couple of cuts, bruises, and scars that I can talk about and I have learned from that have helped me shift my perspective. And that's what this episode is going to do, is share a little bit of what we've learned in our process to making us go faster. These episodes, all these episodes that you'll see are all about those mistakes that have been made and kind of how we remedy them by building that process. Let me tell you a little bit about my company. We specialize in hope. My company's name is Karma. We specialize in helping coaches and consultants grow their business through the integration of business intelligence and emotional intelligence. And we have for that a part of that called something called the content flywheel. It automates lead generation. I know for me as a coach or consultant, that was a problem. Content creation, client engagement, onboarding, and acquisition, and finally, that differentiation. It helps us build differentiation in the market so that we know what we do that is unique, so others people can find out that what I do is unique. Um, Let me uh, ask in the comments here, uh, because I'm curious, what, and I would like to actually hear from you as well. What is your biggest challenge today in your growth rate or doubling your growth rate? I'd love to hear what you feel is the biggest challenge for you. So go to the comments and type in what is the biggest friction or the biggest impediment to increasing your revenue growth rate in your organization today. If you happen to be joining in a replay, love to have you. Thank you for coming. Please type in pound replay and then type your comment so I know when you came into the mix. Okay, great. So let's talk about those three core challenges that coaches have, coaches and consultants have every day that they've got to deal with, at least that I had to deal with. See if any of these resonate with you. Lead generation. Many professionals struggle with inconsistent lead generation, leading to gaps in their sales funnel. What is the solution to that? A consistent lead nurturing strategy that fills those gaps and drives higher conversion rates. I had a conversation just this morning with um, a coach that does a lot of Lean Six Sigma for a lot of manufacturing organizations. And he said, "Gosh, I've got this fantastic plan." He put a number out, a pretty good number of people that he's going to be meet before the end of this year for in-person meetings. And the thought that went through my head was, gosh, that's a large expense of time to get that lead generation, to go sit down with meetings, all of the toe up to getting that appointment set, setting up that meeting, and being able to convert that into a potential lead where they're interested in understanding your services. A lot of time. So lead generation is a significant challenge for was for me, and I suspect for you as well, consistently. Sales funnel efficiency. Without an efficient sales funnel, leads drop out and businesses miss opportunities. Solution to that: automate lead nurturing to streamline your funnel, ensure no lead is lost. Let me tell you what I mean by this. Sales funnel efficiency is about being able to move them to the next stage. All right, so you went and sat down with them and you had a meeting with them. They like what you do. So you've met with, I don't know, 200 people over the last 90 days. That's a lot of people. And there's some of those people that are interested in what you do. Do they know how to move forward in your funnel? Do they know how to go to the next step? If you don't follow up with them, probably not. So, creating that sales funnel efficiency where it naturally matures and moves them to the next stage is a significant challenge. I would love to hear a thumbs up or thumbs down if you've ever had that, where you've had a strong networking season and had a number of people who said, "Yeah, let's have another conversation." And being able to follow up with them to be able to move it to the next stage is a challenge. Give me a thumbs up if you've had that same challenge as well. Client acquisition. Converting leads into clients can be challenging, but with an efficient sales funnel, that process becomes smoother. What is the solution? Improve your sales funnel efficiency by uh, growing that automated lead nurturing. And all of these things, that client acquisition, that sales funnel efficiency, and that lead generation, all leads to potentially increasing your revenue growth rate, potentially doubling it in 90 days. So, what are you going to get in this episode? We're going to talk through our proven process. We call it the content flywheel, and how we do things so that you can understand how we have achieved doubling our growth rate in 90-day periods, and how some of our clients have done the same. All right. So let's talk about impact. If you do this, what actually happens? I would love to hear in the comments. What do you think the impact of improving your client acquisition, your sales funnel efficiency, and your lead generation, what kind of impact is that going to have for you? Please go to the comments if you can, and type into those comments what you think that impact is going to be for yourself. Give me some numbers. How much impact do you believe you will have? All right. Impact. By boosting sales funnel efficiency, you'll increase the effectiveness of your sales funnel by 60%. Let's think about that. So, if people are naturally moving through this funnel for you, your sales funnel efficiency goes up by 60%. So, 6 out of 10 people that you put into that funnel now move along to the next stage in their maturity and understanding of how you can help them. Okay. Number two, improving client conversations. With automated lead nurturing, you convert more leads into paying clients. Well, if they know what it is that you do and how you do it, they are interested because they know how you're going to help them. What does this lead to? Is they want to become a paying client. Number three, streamline your sales process. Maximize the efficiency of your funnel, reducing manual effort and increasing scalability. I think this is sort of the icing on the cake here. If you can put this on autopilot, where it is naturally moving people through the funnel for you, the system is moving people through the funnel as opposed to you having to follow up with an email. Gosh, that moves them consistently through the pipeline. Can you see if you boost your effectiveness of the sales funnel by 60%, improve client conversations so more of them want to become customers, and you streamline that sales process that they now start to move ahead by themselves? Can you see how that's going to make a difference in the revenue that you're going to realize from this? If you're listening in live, go to the comments for me and type in a yes, I see how that can make a difference to my revenue. And which one do you think is most interesting to you? Boosting that sales funnel efficiency, improving the client conversations, or streamlining your sales process? Okay, great. Let's keep moving forward here, and let's start talking about some of the statistics that help you understand a little bit more about this revenue growth rate in 90 days, and statistics that help you see how significant or how much of a challenge this is. So the statistic here is from an organization called Invest, INVESP. They wrote this in 2023. It's 80% of businesses fail to follow up with leads, leading to lower conversions. And the fact is that consistent lead nurturing ensures no leads are left behind, ensuring overall sales funnel efficiency. What does that mean? So 80% of businesses, so 4 out of 5 of us, don't follow up with leads that we met with. I will tell you, I've tried not to put them into the CRM, and I have not put them into my CRM or my sales management system, and I haven't followed up with them because I forgot about them. Gosh, that's a shame because they can't convert if I completely forget about them. So this organization, Invest, says in 2023, said 80% of businesses fail to follow up with leads, leading to lower conversions. Can you see how they will not be able to become revenue for you if you're not even following up with them? We should make a system that puts that on autopilot. And we're getting closer to that so you can see the impact of what this is by putting that system in place. I would be curious if you've ever had a challenge with following up with leads. If you've ever done that before, don't tell me how many. Just have you had a challenge following up with leads in a timely manner before yourself? If you have, type it in the comments for me. I'd love to hear. Companies excel at lead nurture. Companies that excel at lead nurturing generate 50% more sales ready leads at 33% lower costs. Effective lead nurturing strategies are essential for maximizing funnel efficiency while keeping costs down. That's from Forrester Research in 2022. And the idea is that if you generate more sales, 50% more companies that excel at generating those sales ready leads do so at 33% lower cost. So not only do they become more profitable customers for you, they put more money in your pocket. Okay. Number three, improving your sales funnel efficiency by 10% can result in a 50% increase in sales revenue. Small improvements in funnel efficiency lead to significant revenue gains, making automated lead nurturing vital to your success. What does it say? Improving your sales funnel efficiency by 10% can result in a 50% increase in sales revenue. You want to see how you're going to double your revenue growth rate in 90 days? Improve your sales funnel efficiency just by 10%. Just by 10%. I'm curious. Anybody who's listening in, or if you're watching the replay, type in pound replay after you give me before you give me your comment. Type into the comments for me. Are you starting to see how, in theory, it is very, very simple to double your growth rate revenue in 90 days? Seems simple to you? Tell me, type in simple if you see it as simple. If you don't, tell me what you see as the friction here. Let's talk through that and see if we can figure out why that friction exists. Okay? Because what we're gonna start to move into now is our process that helps increase that sales funnel efficiency so that you can double that revenue growth in 90 days. Now, I want to give a disclaimer here. All of what you're hearing from me is based on our proven process that we've implemented for others. The process works. It just happens to be our version that we're sharing with you. So, what you're going to get out of this is not necessarily going to be the same as the numbers that we advertise, unless you potentially work with us. But we're giving you all the tools and the insights so that you can do it for yourself. And if it's interesting for you, we'd be more than happy to help you do that and do it for you. All right, talking points. Why does it matter? Well, we want to increase and double our revenue growth in the next 90 days. So, one thing I'm going to offer to you and just tell you, just kind of give you a sneak peek. If you stay till the end of this episode, we've got something called a unique voice report and a custom market analysis. It's something that we charge $500 for. We're actually going to give you at the end of this, if you want to figure out how to improve your sales efficiency and automate these processes and create this content flywheel process yourself and see what are all the steps that you should take in that really drilled in, dialed in, unique, custom sales motion, sales process for yourself. We're actually going to give you that free report. If you stay till the end, we're going to share that with you so you can get that for yourself. It'll basically give you the roadmap to creating it for yourself. I think it's an excellent value. This is something that we usually used to take us multiple weeks. We went ahead and automated it. If you're interested in that now, you can type in pound autopilot, and I'll reach out to you afterwards, and we'll send you the link to that. All right. Let's start with the end in mind. If we want to improve this double our growth rate by 90, double our growth rate in the next 90 days, then what we need to be able to do is see the strategies for doing that. So let's restate that problem again. Many businesses, coaches, consultants struggle with inconsistent lead generation, causing that leads to drop out of the sales funnel. Without a clear and efficient sales funnel process, businesses lose potential clients and leads to lower conversions. And if the challenge isn't addressed, your business risks losing revenue and growth opportunities. Okay, that's the problem. So let's talk about the first thing. Now, I'm going to share some things with you. There's this quote that I love. It's go back to the basics. Lots of times when I've lost my way, either as a leader, as a parent, as an individual human, whatever the case may be, I always try to go back and revisit some of the basics because when I have moved forward, what I originally understood them to be, when I go back to the basics, I look at them with a slightly different perspective, and that's what I want to share with you here. Is solution part number one: segmenting your audience. Let me give you a stat around this. Segmenting your audience ensures that your lead nurturing efforts are relevant and targeted. Demand Gen report said in 2022 that 82% of consumers engage with more personalized content. So I heard a fantastic stat yesterday that there are 4 million leadership coaches on LinkedIn. 4 million leadership coaches on LinkedIn. So if you're going out to the world saying, hey, I'm a leadership coach, well, there's 4 million others, sure. 3.9 million others who are saying the exact same thing. How is anybody going to find you? They're not. So if you segment your audience and you say, I am a leadership coach for mid-level leaders that are mid-level managers up to director level, for manufacturing companies between 250 and 500 employees with 13 to 25 million in revenue in the Midwest. Is everybody talking like that? No. And is people who are looking in the Midwest going to find you? Much higher chance. Yeah, if they're in manufacturing, even better. If they've got between 250 and 500 employees, even better. point is, as you start to segment your audience, figure out what size and shape and color and where they hang out, what they do, what business they're in. As you start to segment that, you'll start to find them stepping forward. I will tell you, a number of years ago, as a company, we wanted to make some significant progress in an industry that we'd never been in because we do a lot of business analytics for organizations. And when we had done business analytics for those organizations, we were asking everybody, can I do some business analytics? I'll show you how to improve your business efficiency. And there was a lot of people who just kind of didn't respond. Then we said, you know what? Let's go laser focus. We went to pest control companies. You may have a pest control company, you may not. They do the exterminators, they do pest control, they make sure that bugs don't go inside your house or control the bugs, maybe even wildlife around you. We said, let's go pest control. So all the language that we used was around pest control, around companies that were up to 250 employees that are looking at fast growth, that are looking at door to door sales as opposed to uh, um, referral only based sales growth, and might be using social media. Now, when we started putting all of our content out in terms of business analytics, lots of people started to step forward. Reason why is because they could identify with the pain that we were solving and something that we're solving for them because they fit nicely into that category. So, solution point number one sounds very, very basic, but I'll tell you that basic is really where the real power is, segmenting your audience. That's number one. Let's talk about number two, creating relevant content. So, if I'm writing something for all leadership, there's 4 million leaders, and it's not relevant to me because I'm a leader. There's leadership challenges that I have. But you're saying something that I already know because it's just generic. I'm not paying attention to you. What if you talk to me about tech companies that are looking to raise between 15 and $25 million at X number of valuation with this number of employees, with this much of traction in the market, this much revenue? That's completely work from home, remote as a company, no physical presence. Gosh, that is a set of challenges that I would like to learn more about. If you have that, please contact me. I'd like to learn. So when I create content if you create content that is specifically targeted to that, you'll get much higher pull through in people's engagement. In fact, the Aberdeen Group said in 2021, effective content aligned with your lead nurturing strategy can significantly improve engagement and lead conversion. The statistic is 47% higher conversion rates come from targeted content. So that means almost 1 in 2 people are just not stepping forward because what you're saying is not targeted to them. So segment your audience first. Number two, creating relevant content. And if you wait till the end, we'll give you a report that'll do all this for you. And it takes you 5 minutes. Market research. Market research helps you tailor your lead nurturing to client pain points, improving funnel efficiency. Statistic from Forrester Research here in 2022 says 58% of businesses using data driven research exceed revenue goals. Can you notice how just there I use a statistic? It says 58% of businesses use data driven research exceeding revenue goals. I gave you a statistic that appeals to you potentially as a coach, consultant, or service based professional because somebody who does manufacturing or works in healthcare is not trying to target content to draw more leads in. They get their leads of potential patients from a completely different source. It's not relevant to them. So if I do market research, as we've done here, showing you that statistic that's highly relevant to what you do, does that appeal more to you? Yeah, it will. So market research is the third and last piece. Segment your audience first. Figure out who you want to talk to. Make content that's highly relevant to them. And then number three, do market research so that not only do you make that content highly relevant to them, you tell them things that they feel either as a pain or a solution or a vision that they're looking or desire that they have. Okay. So recapping all of that, segment your audience, create targeted content, and conduct market research. And that will help you double your growth rate in 90 days, your revenue growth rate in 90 days. Let me give you a use case here real quick. Jane Smith was a business consultant. She had inefficient lead nurturing means she lost leads in the sales funnel, which meant she was struggling to grow. She was constantly just trying to get enough through the pipeline so she could either stay consistent in her revenue or maybe even put a couple extra bucks away. But she was not seeing double her growth rate. Using automated lead nurturing, using our content flywheel process, she was able to achieve double her growth rate in 90 days. And the funny thing is that this works for many sizes. It's not just for small businesses. The outcome was in 90 days, she had that doubling of her growth rate. It was actually 51%. And her sales funnel efficiency increased by 60% at the same time. So not only was the sales funnel pushing through more effectively, 3 out of 5 were coming through as opposed to potentially uh, only one, if not less, that were coming through that funnel. Um, she says the content, our testimonial was that the content flywheel helped me streamline my lead nurturing process, and within a few months, my revenue doubled, and it was all running on autopilot. And that's the beautiful thing about all this. You can put it into an autopilot mode, so it'll run by itself. So use these 3 things: segmentation of your audience, creating relevant content, and market research as a way to double your revenue growth rate. Now, that's a lot of work. Took me 6 weeks to do it. It still takes me 6 weeks to do it when I do it by hand myself. We decided we would automate that process for ourselves. So I'm putting a offer up on screen for you. If you'd like to boost your business by 10x, in this case, double your revenue growth rate in 90 days, we've got a free offer. If you go to www.carmo.net/autopilot, or you scan that QR code, you'll get access to a form. That form will take you about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will have segmented your audience for you, created relevant content, and created the market research for you. We typically charge $500 for this because this is highly valuable. Other organizations charge even much more, and they'll come in and do consultation with you. We'll do it for $500 for anybody. We do it for $500. We'll do it for anybody who comes to this episode. We'll do it for you for free. So hopefully this gave you a couple of insights into how you can double your growth rate in 90 days, your revenue growth rate in 90 days. I would love to hear in the comments, what were the take-home messages for you? If there are things that resonated more with you than others, why? If you walked away from this with some clarity on something, what was it? I'd love to see that in the comments. If you're so please go to the comments now and type that in. If you're watching this as a replay, thank you for joining us as well. Type in pound replay and then your comment, just so I'll know. But thank you for your time. Hopefully this is of use to you. It's the process that we use, the idea of segmenting your audience, creating that relevant content, and doing our market research, which makes us highly effective in how we double our growth rate. Thank you.